Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about this guy. Now he was under my radar for obvious reasons, because it like okay, he just acting like any normal person, horrible, rude and so forth, nothing out of ordinary, because people are horrible to me. Even if you do good, you still horrible to me. But enough about that, let's start this video.
GEICO is an artist in the furry fandom known for his NSFW art pieces of a multitude of characters.
Okay, that's normal to me, nothing out the ordinary. What make this funny? People do get offended by those types of art, which is an indicator to me to laugh at you, because nobody told you that art it's supposed to be kid friendly, which all these people really think, and I find it laughable to say the least.
Given this is how furries get popular from within that fandom, he became very well known within those ranks.
Yeah, I guess.
Truth be told, I never heard of this guy in my life on the internet, because, well, just don't care nor bother with it, but it seemed like there more to this story than it seems, so did some digging, and this man crazy to say the least.
And even made some NSFW fan art of the Power character as well. It would come out that these pieces are actually traced from other artworks, with him responding as such when called out about it in a thread in February 2012, saying that people do it all the time and yada yada yada.
Oh. Yeah, I can see why people was angry at him for that one, because most artists don't like people tracing at all, which is common knowledge. Don't know why would you even copy, but I'm not an artist, I'm just throwing my opinion. Wait, I just realized what I just said. Why would use the Team Fortress 2 model, whatever.
This lack of actual art skill despite branding himself as an artist wouldn't stop him, however.
Oh really?
Well, you see, call him an artist even though he Rex with little arms, which begs the question even more, how the hell can you touch the computer or even pick up the pen to draw? Then again, I'm underestimating a man that is green skin, or as like to call it, a green booger.
As he would become popular for making a multitude of furry porn animations starting February 1st, 2012, he would post a shit ton of these animations using other pieces of artwork and would soon become a popular figure in the furry fandom, gaining upwards of 5 million page views on the site for Affinity as of today.
Jesus Christ, what are those numbers? Keep in mind this also goes to the outside world, so it probably much larger than that. This man it literally drinking his own glue. Now when he see numbers like this go up, now people are just waiting for him to have body pillows for those types of people. I'm just speculating, don't quote me on that, and don't say you actually exist.
As he started to gain money from this hobby, he would start to draw his own artwork and animations.
What the fuck?
That picture looks suspicious. Okay, let's all pretend we didn't just see that picture, even though it doesn't affect me whatsoever, and it takes a lot to break me down and start crying, but this one of those that will make me cry on the floor.
However, it would come out that his girlfriend Kabir was doing the actual drawings themselves.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Wait, he has a girlfriend? How does he even get one? I'm so puzzled by this, and I'm kind of speechless, because who would want to touch that T-Rex with a 10-foot pole? But I'm not surprised, because girl uses to pick the most rude guys, so this doesn't shock me to say the least.
In fact, this recurring theme of not really being the actual worker would become more apparent as time went on, as he would end up launching a dating game sim named Amorous to much fanfare, only for people to find out he wasn't really doing much work at all.
What the hell is even that?
Never heard of that video game before, that new to me. But not only that, this man is lazy as hell. Never in my life heard someone being lazy as hell to even draw their own character, and be the worst boss as well. Dang, he beat me on my average day of being toxic.
Kabir is the one drawing the assets to be used, and he would outsource the coding and whatnot to people who have actual experience making games. Things wouldn't go smoothly, however, as people were leaving the project due to poor management, with someone coming out that he did 1,300 hours of work for only $3,000, as he publicly quit on Twitter in January 2018.
Yes, it's true.
Okay, I'm gonna just say this, if you're paying that amount, it's not gonna do you much, due to the fact that if you're living with people in general, you can cover most of the expenses. However, if you're by yourself, you cannot cover that much. To put it in lazy words, you would have to pay up even more if you're living by yourself.
Full emails and Discord DMs will leak out, and while most of it is just a bunch of bitching and moaning about how each of them have shitty lives and stressors and call each other gaslighters and such.
Bitching and moaning and bitching and bitching and bitching.
An email from Kabir hints that he was actually paid $3.5K for all his work, alongside more complaining about how her life sucks more. Basically, to sum it up, all three of them playing the oppression Olympics, and Rupert was mad Jason was unprofessional with him.
Okay.
Well, this is so interesting to say the least. To be honest, I have nothing to say about this one.
To be fair here, Rupert worked for about 2 months total in terms of literal hours, and assuming he spent half the day working and the other half sleeping, it's safe to say he spent 4 months of his time on the project.
You kidding me?
I don't know much about indie game development, but that's definitely on the smaller side in terms of payment and hours worked.
That is true.
That couldn't even cover groceries, just saying in all honesty, but if the game is successful, maybe he'll have a little bit more, but I highly doubt that. I mean, we are talking to a guy who can work for Activation and be a jerk and still get pay.
And so this is the first real look at Jason in a light that wasn't people praising him constantly, which got people looking to him further. Now of course, alongside Kabir's email was also Jason's email that was leaked, which shows the guy talking down to the former employee in question and just being an overall dick to him because he quit after their petty argument on Discord.
I am shocked! Shocked! Well, not that shocked.
This doesn't surprise me whatsoever because you know you shouldn't trust people at all, but for some reason people on the internet trust each other, even in real life, which I don't understand it at all, nor do I comprehend it.
It's full of a bunch of needless jabs at the guy for no reason other than to epically own someone after pissing him off in Discord. Given this wasn't part of the initial argument they had, but rather afterwards when both parties were calmed down by this point, it shows that Jason at the very least has this need to make someone feel below him in order to satiate his own ego.
So?
Sounds about average to me. Like a boss is a jerk, like that's not unheard of in any industry. So far so good with this video, but I generally like okay, he's a toxic person, so what, nothing special. However, I do understand that you're not supposed to be toxic where you're working, so this guy is already a moron for do so.
As before this, he was known on going on the site E621 and arguing with anyone who called his work trash.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, he shouldn't take it to heart at all because not everyone can draw as much. I love giving people attention because you know it's fun to see what they say. Even this pathetic person who called himself a troll, even though self-awareness, which he don't had at all.
There was even an instance where people started to mass downvote one of his comics because the writing was bad, and he would bitch at the mods to take the downvotes away so much that they straight up deleted it off the site because he was that annoying to deal with, meaning this guy definitely likes to argue a lot.
Damn.
If those people get tired of you, that say you really did irritate their soul, never in my life seen them get so annoyed they just straight up delete. Is art that how you know they don't want to deal with you anymore? Now if he comments on my videos, we're going to be arguing around straight.
Speaking of that comic being deleted off the site, later on in January 2018, he would get into another argument on the site because people said they didn't like his ego, and he would go on a reply and chastise or challenge pretty much anyone that dared say anything remotely bad about him because that's just how he is. And he would do this for a very, very long time.
You see what I mean?
Someone would even bring up the comic itself, in which he would say it was because the viewers were mad it started off as a gay comic but had a straight ending.
How are these people even alive to this day? Like, I'm generally curious if that's one of your complaints. I'm speechless, because to me, is the comic book is not real. This the most stupid complaint I ever heard in my entire life. I'm really hoping this Menchie thing, whatever the hell you are, is trolling. Please tell me you are.
Now by this point in time, Jason was just known as a really annoying and abrasive person. There was nothing here exactly big to note, he just had an ego, couldn't help but to always try to make himself look better and make the other person look bad or feel wrong about something, and was generally just argumentative and insecure. Going into the month of February, he would continue to argue with random people on Twitter over literal nothings because they called his opinion bad or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know why would you ever argue with Twitter users, because you know it's not a real place, just like YouTube, it's not a real place. This tells me that the guy is quite stupid to say the least, and no, not in a good way. Nobody would have the time to care about this fruitcake on the internet nor their opinion.
What's important to note is that his ego came from barely any of his work per se, as he's only animating other people's art pieces rather than drawing his own, and even with Amorous he was just the manager rather than the actual worker on the project. While one can argue about what is work and what is managing,
This is the worst.
It is safe to say that he's terrible at work and managing, and I also wouldn't be surprised if he's terrible at singing, which that wouldn't shock me whatsoever, because that man can't work or manage anything. Then I doubt that he can sing.
the consensus on the guy was that he was an asshole, not really worth your time, but given he was so popular, people would still flock around him because that's generally how things work.
Hell to the no, to the no, 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 no.
Nobody is worth my time because I have a tendency to ignore people in general. It's not uncommon for me to do. For example, I'm not going to care if you're famous or not because I'm not that desperate to get your attention.
Hell, he even got his own toy made on the Bad Dragon website, so his popularity in the furry fandom wasn't anything to scoff at.
Bitch.
Never heard of that website ever in my life, and no, I'm not joking, because I'm always going after Sweet Baby Inc. because you know disgusting company need to be kicked out of the gaming industry. Besides that, I'm not interested at all.
Due to Amorous not updating very often, the goals on the game's Patreon page weren't being met in time, which annoyed some people. Eventually, after getting things back together, Jason put a post on his Furfinity telling those that are backing to a certain level to contact him if they still want their character in the game, and any people that don't contact him would lose their spots and he would sell them off.
WTF, that's not good for business. Don't tell them this. Hey, you about to lose your position if you don't call me. Who does that? Nobody. They pay for it. They're allowed to be add to the game. Look, you can have a bad attitude all you want, but what you're not going to do is try to scam them.
At one point, he would straight up deny someone who won a raffle because they didn't want NSFW artwork of their character and would try to pull from the list again. And after seeing this, another artist would step in and do it himself after seeing Jason screwed him over. Jason would then leave another passive-aggressive comment because he got epically owned. And people would immediately catch on to this, as this was around the beginning when they started to notice he was a dick.
Fuck off.
Dude, you can't get mad at them for ask you nicely. I understand I'm rude, but if we're doing business, I'm going to respect your wishes, but here you're not being respectful at all. I'm even surprised people don't notice it from the start. Keep in mind this person is worse than me, and that's saying a lot.
You can also see how the post was made in 2015 too, meaning that within the span of just 2 months, Jason and Kabir were able to get enough money to not only fix up the shack, but also get a very expensive luxurious dog breed.
That's so cute!
Okay, I'm gonna go way off topic, but that is the most cutest dog I ever seen in my life. Look, I'm trying my best to not take that dog away from them because I love cute animals, but let me stop here before I pass out.
It's pretty obvious what actually happened here. They wanted a Shiba Inu and so made a GoFundMe under the guise of fixing up an old shack, when in reality they just scammed people out of 3K and some change.
Who on God's green earth would give this man any money after he had a horrible business record and treating his customers like crap? Like, I'm just puzzled at this point. Do these people not know, or do they not learn anything?
And eventually this attitude would rub off onto Kabir as she would shit on some random artist and start to brag about how she's so much more successful than them and all that over some petty argument stemming from who knows what.
Right.
Lady, I don't think by bragging on the internet when you scam people out their pockets as well, and yes, you're also guilty. I don't care what people say, you're guilty. You don't need to scam anyone, to be honest.
And later on at AnthroCon 2018, Jason would get into a pissing match with the horsecock song guy Pepper Coyote over each of them running from a fight or whatever because they're both such strong and tough guys, everybody.
He's not a tough guy at all. The man is literally a stick that could be easily pushed without any force. Hell, you could just use your pinky and he will still fall down, so be a good boy and drink your milk.
Some more leaks of Jason saying racist shit would come out among stuff about Nazis and culture war with some unknown force or whatever.
And?
I really don't care about the racist remarks. That doesn't faze me whatsoever, but for some people it phases them so much that it makes me laugh because those people have yet to go outside and actually experience racism for the first time.
And even posted the infamous pyramid image as hilarity ensued. He would go on to shit up the thread and ignore pressing questions while trying to talk down to everyone while also posting a lot of Jordan Peterson clips for some reason.
What?
Why is he watching that? I mean, no shame there, because you know it is your entertainment, but why post that? But hey, no shame here, do whatever you like.
On October 17th, 2021, he would announce that he and Kabir are having a kid. That would end up being short-lived, however, as he would announce it wouldn't make it to birth.
Oh, I don't know what to say about this one because I don't touch on these types of subjects. Let's move on. Jesus Christ on a popsicle stick.
SonFX here has had a string of very concerning posts on what he thinks about bestiality, such as saying it should only be in the context of the comic, making a post on FA thinking about starting up a comic just like that and asking people for their opinions, approving someone to join art of his character like that, and going on some weird spiel about how he doesn't see the issue because the dog has its needs, but also still says it should be illegal. Basically a wishy-washy statement trying to jump both sides of the argument for whatever reason.
Well, that's a funny way of putting it, but I suppose so.
Dude, no, you shouldn't be give a dog your Pikachu at the end of story. However, if it's in the comic books, then can't throw my opinion on it because you do have weirdos who would buy that, and I'm not joking, they're actually people who would buy that kind of stuff.
Hello? I don't want you having anything to do with my friends. I'm gonna tell all my friends how much of a piece of fucking shit you are and how emotionally...
What the hell?
Dear God, this is like an argument between two parents. Do I really have to listen to it? Because all I'm gonna do is just make fun of all them, and lady, nobody cares if you tell all his friends. I sure don't. You can say whatever you want and guess what, they won't believe you.
Abusive you are. I'm fucking destroying you.
Oh, try me, bitch.
That's it. You think you had a social circle? Nah, not anymore. You fucked with the wrong person.
I don't give a fuck about all of that.
Go ahead, tell anybody. It's not gonna affect me either, because you know who you really gonna tell. Nobody knows me whatsoever, and the people who do know me well just brush it off and just say that's emu for you. Then again, you will never see me because I don't make my presence known.
And pull their fucking hearts. Yes, you are.
Paying rent
you
is
are.
not being abusive. It could be.
It's not about paying rent.
Really?
That's what the argument is about, rent. I don't know what to say about this. To me is retarded, like there's no other way around it.
You live here for free. it.
Well, that's my family.
Well, then you can fucking live with them. How about you tell them the truth?
Yeah, you can live with your family. Tell them that you dropped out of school.
Lady, why do you care about his family? That's not your business in the first place. What connection do you have with his family? What are you, his personal stalker? And as for you, sir, understand school is boring, especially what they're teaching you now these days. It's not okay to lie to your family, but that my opinion for you. But the lady, you can go eat a.
Stop! You're done. Your friend circle is done.
You've had
because
every
they're
chance
all
in the
gonna
world.
know what you did to us. You better fucking believe they will. And you can tell them all the lies you want to about how we're the abusive ones and we're the monsters, but in the end, they're not gonna believe.
Yo!
Yeah, sure, I'm gonna believe a woman that is screaming on top of her lungs and then threatening the guy to remove him from his friend circle. Was sure we should believe her, right? Because you know she's a woman. Dear God, help me and get the cross if she starts acting like a demon.
And I bet you I bet you you're recording this conversation just like you did with your aunt and uncle.
Oh, hell no!
See, she's a certified stalker. I don't care what anybody said. That's way too much information that you should be knowing. Lady, what are you doing when you're away being a creep when your frilled husband is not? Look, then again, he looks greasy, so I couldn't blame you.
I'm gonna make sure I find a way to contact your dad so he fucking knows.
Just fucking contact his sister.
Oh.
Speaks English.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna make sure that they know that you're not going to school. Oh, you're fucked, dude. You fucked with the wrong people.
Why don't you shut the fuck up? Nobody here wants to listen to your misguided bullshit.
Lady, go back in the kitchen. I don't have time for you, and go make me a sandwich while you're at it. And asked for you, lizard boy, why are you talking? You're a completely idiot who can't even let thing go to add insult to injury. You're the worst boss, so shut up.
You fucked with the wrong people. You lied to the wrong people.
How the hell?
Paying rent when you're living under a roof is not bad.
Why aren't you paying
Why
rent?
are you paying rent?
Therefore,
Shut up.
Here's a question. Why aren't you paying him? Because you are living in his household, so he does have the right to kick you out if you so choose to. But since he decided to argue with you two knuckleheads, which I don't know why, I just kicked them out already so I don't have to deal with their salt all over my floor.
You're same age as me.
That's why.
I am 20 years old and I have my shit
I
more
was
together
paying
than
rent
you.
with my dad when I was fucking 17.
I thought you were the better person, Jason.
Are you fucking going to say that to my face?
Yes, definitely.
Don't get salty because he's telling the truth. If you're that mad, then leave. Nobody care. What make this worse, he seemed to look up to you too bad. He was a disappointment to say the least, and if you look up to me, know I'm a bad influence and you should not watch me at all. I'm too toxic to be even good for your mental health.
Oh.
All I fucking did.
Bring it on!
Stupid.
He was already looking at
I'm
options.
21 years old. That doesn't mean I'm fucking stupid. I'm
Kate
on a
was
whole nother
already
level
looking
than
at
you.
options.
Look at me! Look at me, you pussy!
No. Hard pass.
Not gonna lie, I really don't wanna look at you because you kinda horrible woman that I don't even wanna be next to. Even if we had to be together in the same room, I will tell you to sleep on the floor and I sleep on the bed. To make it easier for me, you will have to put a paper bag on your head.
I am on a whole nother fucking level than you are. And you're probably gonna turn into an alcoholic just like her.
Hey. Go fuck yourself.
Lady, don't be trying to throw shade at his family. Keep it between you and him. If you can throw shade at people's family, that means you're really a low human being. I don't care what anybody say on this channel about me, but don't be talking crap about people's family if your family is in a worse situation than him.
Well, that hurts to hear, but
I don't
You
want to say it.
fucking deserve it. You deserve to feel like shit because you treat everybody else around you like shit.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Lady, I think you're mistaking him from me and you're the one to talk, because not just 3 seconds ago him was just throwing shade at his family. Maybe you should have fixed your attitude before telling somebody else to do so. Just a friendly advice.
You deserve to feel like shit because you treat everybody else around you like shit.
No more victim card.
Yeah, no more victim card.
what the fuck are you talking about, man?
I'm not playing any victim.
Because we licked your ass and we wanted to make you feel good for so long because we honestly fucking believed
And you
you.
stab us in the fucking back.
Yeah.
I didn't stab
Yes,
anyone in
you
the back.
did.
Never mind.
The reason I'm an adult and you're not, because I've had adversity in my life.
And
You've had the easiest fucking life in the world and you're doing nothing with it.
I thought that you and I had a similar fucking life, but I was actually abused by my family. Actual abuse. Being hit.
I was hit too.
No, you weren't.
Oh, poor baby. baby.
Lady I had to tolerate with people in general, they irritated my soul, it drove me insane, but enough about my trauma with people. You as a human being should know to keep that trauma and check, not lash out at a person that didn't do nothing wrong and just asked me to pay rent, this like Uno reverse card, but in a terrible way.
You can tell yourself.
You don't know that.
You can be in as
You don't-
much
you
denial.
can't be my dad. You can't be my dad and saying I'll be kicked out or not.
I'm not saying
Oh,
I'm
I'm
your
gonna
dad.
make
You just told me I'm
I'm gonna make
me,
sure your
Blakely.
dad knows that you're not going to school. You better fucking believe it.
See, you're bringing up.
Yeah, because if you won't tell him, I sure as hell will.
See?
Because you don't deserve to stay on this fucking gravy train.
Get out right now!
What are you talking about, lady?
For that.
That's like
no,
common sense.
Guys, please let me explain. Okay?
Explain your bullshit story.
No, it's not bullshit. This is what happened.
Okay, explain it.
Well, we're waiting.
It was this one night, you brought me to the living room in the sofas, and we had a talk, and Jason's like, why don't you touch Kate's boobs? I'm like, okay.
Okay, that was a completely different time. You were in the bed, feeling all sad for yourself.
No,
You said,
I
oh,
wasn't.
I never had a girlfriend, blah, blah, blah.
No.
We're all in the bed watching a movie.
No,
And said,
no.
if you really
Guys,
want the
guys.
touch of a female, you can try touching a boob once, just so you can say that you've done it. That was the whole thing. It was an invitation
And
to
then-
fucking grope my girlfriend.
What?
Guys. And then,
When I'm not there, without
Excuse me.
permission.
Excuse me.
Without even asking her.
Now I realize like that was really messed up, but at the time
We felt terrible for you because you're a fucking
guys-
virgin that has never had the touch of a female in their life. So it's like, hey, do you want to at least feel the sensation of what a tit feels like? You poor sack of shit?
This is delusional.
What are you talking about? You did give him permission. No, I'm done. This why said don't want to make this video because it retarded. There's no other way around it. You know what, I'm gonna be in a coma for a couple days and my friend is going to have to take care of me. Sorry for the video for being super long though, is just this people have been under my radar, just didn't make a video on them because they talk too much and it's too long for my liking. Anyway, guys, hope you have a fantastic day. I will see you on my next video. Please stay tuned and keep your eye open on my channel.
This facility will self-destruct shortly. Please save your work and walk calmly